sash on and
Thank you.
everything.
Can
You
you
look
hear
very great.
me?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay,
perfectly.
perfect.
Okay, we'll just get started. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we get started, I wanted to introduce myself and what this live is about. So I'm Jaden Hope, your Miss Bay Area Teen 2025, and this is my second episode of Real Life Barbies, but the first one I'm recording live, so a little nerve-wracking, but but very excited. And you can catch my first episode with Maritza Delgado on my YouTube channel. We are Hearts of Hope. This video will also be posted here, so in case you missed something, you can always go back to it then. And I'm extra excited for today's episode because of who I'm interviewing. She is my miss. Her and I won our title on the same night, so I'm super excited to get to know her and for you guys to get to know her. It's what this whole podcast is about, and especially to learn from her because she's so inspiring, and I'm so excited for you all. Okay, so we'll get started right away, and I'll allow you to introduce yourself by telling us your name, where you go to school, your CSI, stuff like that.
Well, hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here tonight. My name is Bailey Malveaux. I am a current law student at UC Berkeley School of Law. I'm in my last year, so I am less than a year away from becoming an attorney, which has been a dream of mine since I was a little girl. I did my undergrad in Louisiana. I got 2 degrees, one in political science and one in sociology. And through a mix of just my journey in becoming an attorney, I faced a lot of financial barriers. And so my CSI is focusing on teaching women about financial literacy and wellness. And I'm just so passionate and excited to talk about it today. So yeah, I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited to talk to you about it today. So we obviously see your beautiful crown and your beautiful sash. So my first question is, how did you prepare to compete for your title? And were there any struggles or surprisingly easy steps along your journey to competing for this pageant?
Good question. I think one of the hard things, which I don't know if it's hard, but it took a lot of time, is really understanding me and what I want to kind of push to the world. I think I have a lot of different revolving passions and ideas that I was like, oh, I could do it on my CSI on education, or oh, I can do it about, being, diverse in the legal field. So sitting with myself and deciding, okay, what is my story and what is something that I can really put my all into took a little bit of time. I had to really just like journal a lot and just think about my own journey. And so that really helped. So if you're looking at ways of developing your own service initiative, I would say try journaling, talk to friends, talk to family. And then I think the easiest part, oh man, I don't know if anything was really easy. Everything was new territory for me. This was also my first time competing in the Miss America system and ever doing a pageant before. And so it took a bit of adjusting to this new scene, but I think a lot of my skills in terms of public speaking and just being kind of present on stage, I have a theater background as well, kind of made
Oh,
some elements easy. But I think the whole journey itself was challenging, but
yes,
fulfilling.
yes, I can completely advocate for the journaling. I have like a box of all my journals. I think there's over 15 in there. It is definitely the best way, in
Yeah.
my opinion, to like declutter your mind and to reflect, especially. I was able to talk about that in my interview actually, and I was super duper happy. So you kind of talked about this at the beginning of your introduction, but if you could go into more detail about what inspired your CSI and what actions you take to promote for it and advocate for it.
Yeah, of course. So I'm a first generation college student. I'm a first generation lawyer as well. And so trying to navigate the FAFSA by yourself, if you ever tried it, it's spooky ooky. And so trying to do that and then figure out even what loans are and how they work, how interest works, and how to budget for the first time. I had a job for the first time, and a lot of it was very overwhelming. I didn't come from a family that was super savvy in doing those things early on, and so I had to just kind of ground myself and figure out how to do it. But in that, I was spending a lot of time alone. I wasn't as engaged in class because I was just my brain was so cluttered with ideas of like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? Or how am I going to budget this? Or how am I going to pay this back? And so I wanted to make sure that there was a resource for young women to learn how to manage their money and how to budget and what credit is and all these different things that they should teach in school, but they don't. And just so they don't have to go through that feeling of isolation and trying to figure it out on their own. And so I do weekly Monday videos on my account, and I have partnered with the YWCA on their Team Financial Summit, which was really, really great. And in the future, I'm hoping to do several kind of one-off workshops in schools and through organizations on Berkeley's campus. I'm in the process of organizing one right now, so I'm very excited. And just connect with as many young women as I can. My DMs are always open. I also talk about kind of like scholarship opportunities for graduate school. So if you're ever curious about that, I'm your girl.
Yes, I come from a very similar background for the financial situation part of it. So I'm so grateful that you provide that resource for people who come from families like me. And it definitely also normalizes the situation. And I'm very grateful, as I'm sure the rest of your audience is. So my next question is, you're obviously a very powerful woman who's very active in her community. And where do you find your strength and courage to pursue all of your life's adventures? And how do you manage your stress and anxiety during chaotic phases of your life?
Oof, that's a good one. I think my strength comes from several places. I think first, my mom. She sacrificed a lot for me growing up and kind of put her dreams on hold to take care of me and my brothers. And so in a way, I want to give back to her. And I know one thing she loved was watching Miss America growing up, and we used to watch it on the TV all the time. And so to even have that opportunity to compete for Miss California and hopefully Miss America, doing that to kind of honor her and just go through my whole journey of getting an education and being independent, and something that she didn't really have the opportunity to do, kind of pushes me on those days that are really long and are really hard. So I find my strength in her. But something that I do to kind of mentally relax is I love yoga. I love a yoga session. I'm actually preparing to become certified so that I can eventually teach yoga. So I'm very excited to go on that journey of getting my teacher training certificate. But it was something that kind of came to me during my time of when I was down on my finances in undergrad, and I was like, I need something. And my best friend and roommate at the time was a yoga instructor. She was like, you should come to my classes. Like, you'll love it. It's really just a time to kind of just center yourself, set an intention, and take your mind off of the world. And I was hooked instantly. And so I try to practice at least once a week, 2 to 3 times a week if I can. But it does truly, truly help me mentally, physically, all of the above.
Yeah, I'm currently entering my yoga journey because I'm taking a core fusion for my PE class at school, and I'm so happy that they offer a yoga option because I am not made for the court. I am not made for the fusion.
I hear you.
No, yes. Okay, so my final detailed question that I'd like to ask you, and I'm sure the audience would love to know, is how are you preparing for Miss California, and what are you most looking forward to?
Oh, well, some of that's a secret. I can't give it all away, but no, what I've been focusing most on right now is talent. I think that is the category that I struggle most with. I think because I love music so much and I grew up doing theater, it's just so close to me. And so I get so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like putting my heart, something that I'm like so vulnerable with, in front of everyone. So I've been trying to perform in front of more people and really just get comfortable with eyes on me and breaking into that kind of side of myself. And so I'm workshopping some talent. I'm going to have a little surprise, mixing some things up there. So I'm excited to kind of see that come to fruition. But what I'm most excited about, and I got a little taste of it yesterday at the Miss Sacramento County competition, is just meeting all the girls. I think some of us live very far away from each other, or our lives are so busy. I mean, we're all doing amazing, amazing things. And we just don't have time to kind of meet and chat and hang out. And so I'm excited to kind of see everyone in one place and really get to know everyone better. Because it's really a sisterhood, and I've already connected with so many women, and I'm just excited to see that grow. So very excited.
I definitely feel the same way about the talent portion, because I grew up super close to music. I did musical theater while growing up, and my mom owns a music studio. So it's almost that pressure of like this is my thing, and like I'm
Yeah.
sharing it with such a different audience.
Yeah.
It's really cool, but definitely challenging with the mindset part. But I love working on it, and I love being able to share these stories through song with so many other people. And sisterhood, when I saw that as one of the 5 points now of the Miss America crown, I was like, sisterhood, like this is a competition. But the second I met every single one of those girls, I was like, wow.
Exactly. Exactly.
The people always say like quality over quantity, and like that's exactly what the sisterhood is. Like obviously in California, especially pageantry, I feel like the world is a little bit smaller, but every single woman who's there is just as deserving for the title and just like deserves so much love. And I'm so happy that I could help join the family. It makes me really happy. So now some rapid fire questions, and also I see a couple questions in the comments, so we'll touch on those too, don't worry y'all. But first, the rapid fire questions. What is your favorite phase of competition?
Fitness. Yeah.
Yes. What is your most? I wish I could relate that. Definitely working on my Miss America fitness right now. Like getting back to my running, getting back to my stretching. Like I was like, wow, this is no joke. I was watching the Miss America team. I was like, okay, abs, okay, like quads, like biceps, like wow.
I think for me, I live in the gym and I love the gym, and so when I can wear sneakers and like athletic wear, I'm in my element. I'm having a great time. The heels are so daunting to me. It's a lot.
Yeah, I bet. Okay. What is your most difficult phase of competition?
Besides talent, because we talked about that one, I'd say evening gown, for the very reason of like the heels, and just you have to like exude so much confidence to be able to walk in an evening gown. And I sometimes struggle with that, especially you're walking slowly and everyone's staring at you. It's a lot. It's intimidating. So to get in the right headspace and be like, I got this, shoulders back and out.
What did Bailey tell us? She was like, roll back your.
Roll back.
Every single practice. That's instilled into my memory now. Yeah. No, but yeah, my first evening gown competition, I tripped on my dress. So definitely survived the worst of the worst. And now I'm like, whatever. if I can put a smile on my face after that, I can put a smile on my face after truly anything. Okay. I am a huge foodie, and I have to know, what is your victory meal?
Ooh, tonkatsu ramen. I got that right after I got.
That was so specific.
I know. Extra, like the hard-boiled or the soft-boiled eggs. I want 2 of them. I want extra. Oh, it's so
always
good.
get double egg in any food that involves. I love. There's a breakfast meal. Like eggs are very prominent in Filipino breakfast meals, and I always get 2 sunny side ups with my fish on the side, rice, everything. And now, one of the most valuable pieces of this interview, could you share a lesson or piece of advice related to your CSI?
I would say it's never too early or late to start learning about finances. I think sometimes I was like, oh, I don't have any money. I don't have a career. I'm just like a girl. I don't know. It's never too early, okay? Whether you're making, you're working at the library and you're making minimum wage, you're deep 10 years into your career. At any point you can learn, even in small things and the habits that you do. I remember talking about this in my interview because I discussed how even children can learn about finances and how to save money. Teaching yourself the skill of delayed gratification and being like, okay, I have this. I could spend it all now. I could go shopping. I can get food. I could go to the movies. Or I can delay that gratification when I'm able to buy something that I know I really, 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 really want. And teaching kids that with just something like candy, like, hey, I'm giving you 10 pieces now. Have them right now at recess if you want. Or do you want to save them before you get home?
Yes.
Teaching those skills early on is so important, and you can learn it at any time. So that's what I would say.
And now my favorite question. Yeah. What is your favorite quote?
Oh, man. I think one of my favorite quotes is, both fear and faith require you to believe in something that you can't see. So choose.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That,
I think for me, it can be so stressful going into the unknown or like, am I going to do well? Am I going to succeed? Am I going to do this? Both faith and fear require you to believe in something you can't see. So choose faith. Believe in yourself. Believe you're capable. Choose it every time.
oh my gosh, I love that. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket forever and always. So before we split, let's take a look at some of these questions, two of these questions. Okay, so the first one is, how much do you have to pay during state competition, hotel, food, and fees? So I'll answer this first, and then you can go next.
Mm-hmm.
So I have never competed in a state competition, so not quite sure yet. But local wise, I I reused a dress, which was great. I did buy an interview outfit, but it was from Target, and I thought it looked really cute. So it was only like, I want to say $40, which comparatively is pretty good. And then I had to drive 2 hours to Oakland, but I did not mind. Food, they actually provided food for us, which was really nice. And there were also like sponsors who gifted some makeup and photography, and it was really, really great. And to help me pay for all of this, I hosted a fundraising concert with senior citizens. I hosted a karaoke night, and they donated, and it was really fun. So I highly recommend fundraising your money. I know you do have to fundraise for American Heart Association, so that's where you have to designate some money. And yeah, so what about you? How did you do that? Do
Yeah,
your
I mean,
finances?
I second that. This will also be my first state competition. So stay tuned. But I believe the Miss America opportunity, at the end of the day, it's a scholarship competition. So they're not looking for women to break the bank to come compete. And so there are many ways, at least same for my experience at the local competition, to save money. So I also, some of my clothes I reused, some something I had in my closet for my like interview and other things I had going on. I borrowed a lot too. My fitness wear I borrowed from Delaney, who is now Miss Napa County. And just using things that you already have can actually take you very, very far. Um, and so if financial burden is something that's an obstacle in you wanting to compete, I would say also reach out to your local communities. There are lots of great sponsors who are willing to like pay costs, who are willing to let you borrow clothing, shoes, anything that you may need. And so yeah, I think it's very accessible if you need it to be. Like we said when we talked about the sisterhood, girls who I barely knew were helping me out. So it's really true that everyone wants to help each other, and so if you want it to happen, it can happen.
Yes, yes. And second question is, how do you stay so calm while talking? I get so excited and talk 100 miles per hour. Me
Me too.
too. I have been known for talking fast on the daily, and honestly, it's just one of those things you have to practice by talking in front of
Yeah.
a lot of people, because that's the only way you can really test yourself. And you're gonna make mistakes along the way, and it's okay. Like, it's okay. It's all steps forward. It's all
Mhm.
progress. Do you have any advice with that?
Yeah, I agree. I even from this live, you can hear me like rambling and yapping along.
Me too. Me too.
Um, but I think taking that big breath before you start and being comfortable with silence. It sounds insane, but if you have a friend or a family member, just sit in the room with them in silence and just look at them. Make that eye contact. It's gonna feel so awkward. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna want to look away. You're gonna like itch because you're like, oh my goodness, I have to add sound. But just sitting in silence and just letting it be. When you start to get comfortable with the silence, you're able to think through a little bit better of your answers. You're able to kind of pace yourself when you're speaking, so you're not rambling so fast. And again, through repetition and practice, you'll get better at it.
Okay, I see a couple more questions, so we'll answer those too. Will we be hearing a song from that play at the next pageant?
Let's see. What's your favorite play? And then will you be hearing a song?
I
Okay, let's see. My favorite, I mean, Wicked just is on
Revolutionary
WD
film.
now. Love Wicked. I think Hadestown is one of my favorites right now. It's great, based off of Greek mythology, um, on Persephone and Eurydice, I believe. And I've fallen in love with that musical. It's a tragedy at the end of the day, but it's just so like gut-wrenching and beautiful, and the songs are just so well done. We will not be hearing a song from that play at the next pageant, just because I might cry on the stage because I just love it. I'm just obsessed with musical at this point. I don't know. I think I'm taking a different approach this time around, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, my favorite my favorite musical is Legally Blonde because of the message.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
Yeah.
about empowering women in pink,
In
which is my
pink.
favorite color.
Come
So
on.
that's the bonus.
I'm
And
clothed. I have a pink dress right now.
yes, yes. And unfortunately, no, I will not be singing a song from Legally Blonde. I am still in the works of choosing my song, but yeah, I'm also right now figuring out the approach I'd like to take. It's gonna be really exciting and gonna take a lot of
Yeah.
preparation, but and hard work, but I'm excited. And what are your favorite interview tips or tricks that you stand by when competing? You can go ahead and go first.
Hmm. I would say listening to the question. I think it has to do with nerves a lot, where you're like, I want to reach all these points in my head, and I know I need to talk about this, that you're not actually answering the question that was asked. Um, and I would say another tip is just to add personality. I think interviews can sometimes get really static because you're like, I have to be perfect for 10 minutes and say this. Say a joke, move around, inflect your voice, add some personality to your sentences. It's okay. If you don't know something, it's okay to be like, that was a great question, but I'm gonna have to get back to you. Like, it's relaxed. So they want to see someone who's human, that they can relate to, but who also is poised. And so it's finding that balance between the two. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with the thing you mentioned earlier about getting comfortable with silence. That was definitely something that really took a lot of work in taking that time to take a deep breath because obviously 10 minutes is such little time for someone to get to know you, but you do want to make every word you say count. So just
Mhm.
getting comfortable with that silence to compose your thoughts is really important and something I completely stand by while competing. Okay, thank you. That is it. Thank you so much for talking with me today and being able to share your story and advice. I'm really grateful for you and everything you have. We have also a very grateful audience, as I
Yeah.
expected. You're such an inspiring woman, and I'm so excited to do this year with you and to watch you compete on the Miss California stage.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this was so nice. I'm glad we got to catch up and hear a little bit from each other in this like hectic beginning of school time. I know you're so busy and you're doing so many amazing things. So I'm also so excited to support you and cheer you on this year.
Yes. So make sure to check up on this episode on my YouTube channel. We are Hearts of Hope. It will be posted there. And watch the first episode that was filmed with Miss New York USA 24. So I will see you all next time. I will see you, Bailey, very soon.
Yes.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.